Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here, and Dead by Daylight has the All Things Wicked chapter 7.6.0 releasing on March the 12th, and they gave us this blog post detailing the changes from the version of that update that we tested in the public test build a couple of weeks ago to what we can expect in the live release on the 12th. So we're going to go ahead and go to the forums and read through the blog post. Hatchets, hats, perks, and more. Here's everything that has changed since the PTB. We'll go over to the official forums here with this developer update changes, and it says, all things wicked PTB has come and gone. As always, our team has discussed the feedback you've shared with us on all the new and changed content, and we've prepared a series of adjustments which will be made before this update goes live. In this post, we'll go through each of them and provide a brief explanation of our thought process. We're trying out a new, less wordy format this time. Feel free to let us know what you think. The unknown. Oh, medium update. Okay, so we're categorizing the size of the changes for the updates here. That's interesting. New. Weakness's duration now increases by 6 seconds when a survivor is injured by UVX. Change. Increase the hindered effect on airborne hits from 3% to 6%. Increased the blindness duration for the homemade mask add-on to 60 seconds, up from 45 seconds. Developer note. The weaknesses effect was a little too easy to remove during the PTB, which meant the killer would often have to hit a healthy survivor with a UVX 4 times to down them. By increasing weakness's duration when the survivor is hit by a blast, accurate killers will need one less shot to down a survivor. We've also increased the hindered effect to address the feedback of airborne hits feeling underwhelming. So for survivors to remove their weakness, they have to stare down the unknown for 10 seconds to remove the weakness that they get from a UVX hit. So you kind of play a game like Ghostface, where you're in stealth and you're trying to not get revealed. So killers are trying to break line of sight with you to keep you weakened, and survivors are trying to obtain line of sight with you to remove that weakness. At the same time, also dodging a subsequent blast from that UVX. Okay, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Next, for the pig, minor update. Reverted. Decrease the reverse bear trap's base time to 150 seconds. It was 180 seconds during the PTB. Developer note, we wanted to shift some power away from the pig's reverse bear traps and into her stealth and ambush abilities to make her more fun and interactive to play. Many felt that this change was too significant during the PTB, so we have reverted it for the update's release. We'll be keeping a close eye on her performance once this update goes live, and reevaluate if this change is needed at a later date. I thought, 3 minutes for a bear trap was overly long, and I felt like, well, nobody's ever going to die to bear traps ever again, because they're either going to get caught by her and hooked, or you'll have enough time to remove them. I just didn't think that 3 minutes was a fair amount of time. It seemed overly long to me, so I'm in favor of reverting it. I think the 150 seconds 2.5 minutes is much more fair. Otherwise, why trap anyone was my feeling. I don't know. Anyway, I guess you do keep them off of objective, but it's not going to be a lethal thing. All right, next we have the Huntress, minor update to her. Reverted the decreased Huntress movement speed while holding a hatchet to 3.08 meters per second. It was 3.54 meters per second during the PTB. Developer note, this change made it too forgiving for the Huntress to raise a hatchet at the wrong time, potentially even keeping up with survivors with add-ons. We have reverted this change for the update's release. Man, that really made her a powerhouse. Like, you probably saw some other content creators who showed, like, with one mind game, they could just back and forth around a rock and get somebody so easily as Huntress because of that additional almost a half a meter per second speed while holding the hatchet. It was so powerful. So I think that's a good change too, because they made her into a terrifying OP killer with all of the changes, with the extra quicker wind-up time and the extra inventory of hatchets and the speed. It was a lot. So we'll see what happens going forward now. The clown also has a minor update. Change. The Redhead's Pinky Finger add-on now limits the clown's bottle carrying capacity to 1, previously reduced capacity by 3. Developer note, this add-on allows the clown to down healthy survivors in a single hit, so it has always had a significant downside to keep it under control. Since we increased his base carrying capacity, this would have made this add-on stronger as a result. So we have added a hard limit of 1 bottle, similar to the Huntress's iridescent head. I think that's fair, but I don't think it's going to get a lot of use now. We'll see what happens. I am so glad that they changed the VFX for being hit by the clown's gas, that it isn't going to be as hard to see. Like, you're going to be able to tell that you're under the effect of the gas and you're going to feel the effects, but it's not going to obscure your vision. That's one of the things that I really hated facing a clown, is that I can't see when I get hit by the gas. So I'm glad that they have cleaned that up. Next, we have the invocation for Weaving Spiders. This is a medium update. This is one of Sable Ward's new Survivor Sable Ward's perks. And this says change. When the invocation is completed, permanently reduce the required charges of all generators by 10. It previously added 15 charges to the progress during the PTB. Developer note, this perk has a lot of risk and a heavy time commitment. Yeah, if you don't know what this perk is, Sable would have to go down into the basement and she would have to sit in a circle and cast her spell for 2 minutes without help. And then it would add 15 charges to every generator on the map, and she would remain broken status for the rest of the game, not injured and unable to be healed for the rest of the match. So that's what they're talking about when it has a lot of risk and the time commitment. If the invocation is interrupted, the time spent would be lost, making it unappealing compared to a normal repair. Yeah, people were just like, just do the gens. To make the reward match the risk, we've changed the effect to permanently reduce the required repairs on all generators need, similar to the brand new part add-on. So this is something, I don't know if they got the idea from someone else, if another content creator said this, but somebody came into my chat and they proposed this idea, saying that why don't we, instead of adding charges to generators with this spell, which can be simply kicked away by the killer and waste all that time in a trade-off for you being injured for the entirety of the match, what if it permanently reduced the number of charges required, which can't be kicked away by the killer, and it just makes it, you have, less of a bar to reach to complete the generator, similar to the brand new part. And I thought, wow, that is an incredible idea, which I pushed forward to the devs, and they used it. So I don't know if, really have no idea if this was something that was popularized by another content creator and they picked up on it, or if this person who mentioned it to me in chat and me forwarding it to the devs had an effect and we're responsible for it. I really don't know. I'd like to take credit, but, I've seen other things that people bring into my chat that are ideas from other streamers, etc. So I really don't know. But hey, I'll take credit if that's where the credit is due from my amazing chat member. But, I really don't know. But I do think this is a great change, because then it reduces the number of charges necessary, and they can't be kicked away. So that makes it a little more appealing. I really don't think there's going to be a lot of invocation going on, but I could be wrong. I do like the idea of having this invocation, and I'm assuming that, like boons, this is going to be a new kind of perk. I can even see them going back and actively making other perks into invocations. We'll see what happens, but I like the idea, the concept of this new kind of perk, even though I don't think the invocation Weaving Spiders itself is going to see a lot of use, especially initially. Like, I hear a lot of people saying that killers are just going to be running territorial imperative so that they know when you go in the basement and you're doing it. So if you are going to do your invocation, maybe bring some distortion with you so they don't know you're down there doing it. Anyway. Next, we have the Strength in the Shadows. This is another Sable Ward perk, minor update. Change increases the healing speed to 70%. It was 60% during the PTB. It will often take some time to get to the basement before you can heal with this perk, And there's also risk involved with being caught injured in the basement. We have increased the healing speed slightly to make it more interesting, but still niche choice compared to other self-healing perks. This allows you to heal in about 23 seconds by default. So you heal faster in the basement. You also run the risk of going to the basement. So they're trying to make it a little more attractive with the benefit versus the risk. Now, Wicked, this is a major update. They overhauled this perk completely. This perk is nothing like what it was in the PTB. They changed it entirely. Reworked perk. Your self-unhook attempts in the basement always succeed. When you're unhooked or unhook yourself, you will see the killer's aura for up to 20 seconds. Developer note, we didn't feel the original perk was very effective, so we have given it an overhaul. The ability to unhook yourself from a basement hook may come in handy if you're caught during an invocation, but be warned, killers may catch on and carry you to a hook above the ground. Aura reading effect will allow you to gain some value from this perk, even if you are never hooked in the basement. So it winds up being basically a version of Deliverance, but it doesn't require you to safely unhook someone first, and it only works in the basement. But wherever you are unhooked, you're going to get that aura reading, so you'll be able to see what the killer's doing. So, all right, here we go. The Watchlist. Oh yeah, this is things that they have an eye on in case they feel like certain combos or metas will be problematic that they're keeping a close eye on. Dead by Daylight is always changing, and this watch list covers a few things we'll be keeping an extra close eye on once the update goes out. As a disclaimer, the things on this list are not guaranteed to be changed. The unknown. It always takes some time for a new killer to settle. We'll be watching to see if the unknown is too strong, too weak, or if any points of frustration arise in the coming weeks and months. Fair. Invocation weaving spiders. Being a brand new mechanic, it will take some time to see how invocation perks, that implies there's going to be more, right, fit into the game. The effect is strong, but carries a significant risk. We'll be watching closely to make sure they end up in a good spot strength-wise. The pig. As mentioned previously, we've made some pretty significant improvements to the pig's ambush ability and left her reverse bear trap timer untouched for the time being. We'll monitor her performance in the near future to ensure that these changes don't push her over the top and reevaluate as needed. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. Okay, so that's what we got here from the forums for the changes that are going to go live on March the 12th at noon. A couple of things to keep in mind is that they're 1 hour before the release at 11 a.m., they're going to have the All Things Wicked live stream, and they're going to explain the chapter to us, the Blood Moon event. There's also going to be some new Twitch drops that you can start to earn on that live stream too. So keep in mind that all that is happening. You want to know what perk frightens me the most? Hang on. As I was saying, you want to know what perk terrifies me the most? It's this unforeseen perk for the unknown. When you perform the break action on a generator, your terror radius transfers to the generator for up to 30 seconds, and its radius is set to 32 meters, and you gain undetectable for that duration. That one really terrifies me because unlike Trail of Torment, where you have a visual indicator as a survivor, you see that yellow gen, you're like, hey, there's a yellow gen on the map. They may have kicked the gen and they don't have a terror radius. So keep your head on a swivel. You have no idea, unless you're running alert, I guess, that the killer has kicked this and that they don't have a terror radius. There's going to be a lot of grabs, a lot of sneaking up. Everybody keep your head on a swivel. Any killer can be running this perk and kick a gen and sneak up on you. And that is the one that really scares me because survivors don't have an indication that that's happened. So, I'm terrified about that one. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow on March the 12th at 11 a.m. I'll be having a watch party, watching the dev stream alongside of them to see when they show us all of the new stuff that's happening. And then we'll be streaming the new content, and you can earn your Twitch drops. And I'm even going to be giving out copies of the new DLC, All Things Wicked. So if you want to hang out with me tomorrow when that goes live, I'd appreciate seeing you there, and you might get lucky and win a DLC on Twitch, okay? All right, that's all I have for you today. As always, thank you so very much for the time you spend here with me on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps the channel a ton, and we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. Bye-bye. It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life